Hi Teresa, it's Jory, and this week I finished my internship. Yeah, so that's crazy. Summer went so fast. I don't understand. So, in light of finishing my internship, I also had more time to work on my book proposal, so I did that. I haven't gotten any farther in editing the actual book because I got through chapter 3 and all of my focus has been on sample chapters and proposal. So, after the sample chapters and the proposal are ready to send out, which is kind of terrifying and also really exciting. I'll go into that more later. Once those are ready to send out, then I'll get back to actually editing the rest of the manuscript because that has to happen. I say it's really exciting and really scary and kind of terrifying for the simple reason that I am scared of change. And I think a lot of people are scared of change. And it's super exciting because everything could change, but it's also terrifying because everything could change. So it's a case of if I get a no, then nothing changes. I still don't have a book published, and I'm still just doing whatever I was doing. But if I do get a contract and I get signed, everything is up in the air. Everything could change. And the thought of maybe dealing with that while I'm away at college is kind of scary. So I think that's part of my hesitation and why it's taken so long to actually write this proposal and edit it. Because it's been the greater part of at least a month, maybe two. I'm scared of a potential yes. And I am super excited that this could happen because this has been my dream since like 7th grade. It's probably been a hidden dream since I was young and reading Nancy Drew books and The Tale of Despero and all of those other books I read when I was really young. But Tale of Despero is such a good book. I loved that in like 3rd grade. Anyway, so in the meantime, while I'm continuing to work on my proposal and continuing to edit it and continuing to just get it to the point where I'm ready to send it to my professor, who will then look it over and give me feedback, and then I can send it on to the editor. I've been doing lots of fun things. So this week I had a few really awesome things. The first of which was I got to go see Les Mis. This musical was so good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so my sister bought some tickets and she was like, hey, you want to come? And I was like, yeah. So I went with her and oh, that was phenomenal. I can't even. The music, I mean, and my sister said it best when she said that it's really fun to go see a musical that you know all of the words to because then you don't have to be trying to follow the storyline and instead you can be enjoying the talent and enjoying the magic of what's happening on stage in front of you. And I think that's a really good point. It's really easy to go to a play that you haven't seen or a musical that you haven't seen, and you miss out on a lot of what is going on, despite the fact that you're still fully engaged. And I think that's because you're so fully engaged in trying to understand what's going on in the music and what's going on in the storyline that when you go and see something that you already know the plot of, and you know all of the songs, you can just sit there and be like, wow, they're so good at what they're doing. And I think the same thing sort of happens when you reread books or rewatch your TV shows that you love or your favorite movies. Like, I'll go back and rewatch Beauty and the Beast whenever I'm feeling down just because I love it and I have always loved the storyline. I think that's where my love for crime fiction and abductions and all of that started. Alright, kidnappings, because I watched Beauty and the Beast as a child. Thanks, Disney. The other really exciting thing that I did this week was my church had an event called Deeper, where it's a chance for the women of the church to sign up for all of their Bible studies that are coming up in the next year, but we also hear from an author, and that was really cool because I got to completely edit the booklet that had all of the Bible study information that was part of what I did in my internship, so I edited the entire booklet, and there's a little page where I wrote something, so that was out to the whole church, and that was super awesome to see the entire thing come to fruition and actually be able to hold this thing that I worked on in my hands. So cool. But also, as well as being able to hold something that I worked on in my hands, I was able to meet and talk to Elisa Morgan, who is a author, and she has written quite a few different books. I own 2 of them, one of which is Hello Beautiful, which I haven't read yet, but my mom and my sister both say it's really good, so that'll be on my list coming up. Now that I know who she is and I know how she writes and her storytelling style. So, Hello Beautiful by Elisa Morgan. But also, the one that she was talking about at Deeper was called The Prayer Coin. Both of these books are signed, by the way, which was super cool. Benefits of going and seeing her in person. This one looks at the prayer that Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane and how we can mimic that in our own life. And the idea of it is that if you pray with both honesty and abandon, you can grow deeper in your relationship with Christ and you can reach a deeper intimacy. So this one was really cool because the package that I got comes with a prayer journal where you have the 2 main thoughts, take this cup and not my will, on either side, and then you write part of your prayers here and the other prayer here, so you have what you want honestly on the take this cup, and then you have not my will, which is, okay God, but how else could you be using this in my life, or how else could I learn from this, which is super cool. And then you also received a little actual coin that says honest. It says honest on one side and abandon on the other. So as you're actually praying, you can be holding it and say, okay, here's my honest prayer, and here's my prayer with abandon. And so that's just a really cool tactile thing that I just found really interesting and really kind of exciting. Also, I'm definitely taking notes for when I eventually get a book published, because this was a really cool idea. And then with the end of my internship, I've been busy reading this book, Next Generation Leader, and if you've been following me on Instagram, wink wink, go follow the link below. If you've been following me on Instagram, you've seen that I've been reading this book. And this one was recommended by my supervisor, and so far it's really, really interesting. It's by Andy Stanley, and he is giving practical tips for young leaders and how they can lead and how they can lead better and how they can get into their gifts and be able to lead in their focus areas and what they're actually good at leading at. So that's been really interesting, and I'm learning a lot about myself and about how to lead, which is super cool. And then also how to follow, which both of those are just really cool things. The last book that I'm going to talk about for now is Starbucks Experience, which I also read for my internship. And now I feel like I know a lot more about Starbucks than I ever wanted to know. This book does read a little bit like just a walking ad for Starbucks, because a lot of, 90% of the book is telling you, wow, Starbucks is so great, it's such a great company, you should aspire to be like Starbucks, which in a lot of ways, yes, you should aspire to be like Starbucks, and this book puts it really well on why you should aspire to be like Starbucks, and how they take care of their employees, and how they go above and beyond in taking care of their customers, and make sure that everyone has all of their needs met. But it also is like, now I can't even go past Starbucks without being like, ooh, Starbucks, and wanting to buy it, so... On a side note, my coffee bill is probably going to increase dramatically, and I need to go back to school where there's not coffee, so that I don't spend money, except there is coffee. It's okay, I have a gift card. Alright, and that's pretty much everything else I have for you today, other than a short plug for my mailing list. Please join my mailing list. I'll put a link down below to my website and anywhere that you can see a subscribe box, which there's a lot of places, so you shouldn't have any trouble finding one. Just please type in your name and your email address, and I promise I won't spam you. I really just want to allow you to get first access to fun short stories that I've written, or when I eventually get a book published, that's how I'm going to alert people first. Probably with a newsletter or anything else that's just new and exciting in my writing career. If and when I get a book published, that's also where I'll start posting, like, here's how you can get early access to tour dates and whatever. But that's, like, way in the future. For right now, really all you're going to get is a possible, here's a free copy of the self-published book I wrote that I say with hesitation because I need to go back and edit it, and I really want to go back and edit it. So, I mean, if you want to buy it, you can. I just am also going to warn you, I wrote it in 7th grade. I'm a much better writer now, and I know what I need to fix in that novel. I just haven't had enough time to go back and fix it yet. But you can buy it on Amazon if you want to. I'll put a link down below, and I might regret that in the future, but have fun, have at it. So if you would join my mailing list, I would really appreciate it as I get ready to send this proposal out. Part of a book proposal is that you tell them what your platform is, and mailing lists have a lot of clout in your platform, so if you could, please just go join that. Promise I won't spam you. You might get a weekly email with a blog update. At the moment, that's what it looks like. So, thanks! Until next time, Teresa. I'll see you then. Merch for this week is my Lewis and Friends t-shirt that I got at the Colloquium way back in, like, June. And also this Loki scepter necklace is probably my favorite thing. I play with it and hold it, and yeah. I love Loki, and I would show you my wall, but then I have to move my camera. I'm going to show you my wall anyway. Here's some of the art that my friends have made me throughout the years. It's one of my favorite characters for various different reasons, and maybe next week I'll make a video on that. So if you want me to, leave a comment and just let me know. Alright, if you like these videos, like and subscribe and share them with your friends, and make sure that you have the notifications bell turned on, and then go subscribe to my mailing list, and go like all of my other platforms, so you can keep up with me everywhere that I post. Until next time, Teresa, I'll see you then. Bye!